Hey y'all, it's your girl Melissa back with another video. Today I'm talking about the five love languages. Five. A lot of the times we get into relationships or we have even friends that we don't know how to effectively communicate with them, whether it's through verbal or nonverbal communication, especially when it comes to very close relationships, best friends, or partners. So, I found that the best way to communicate is to find out how that person perceives love. So, what I'm going to do today is talk about the five love languages, and I'm also going to post a link below with a quiz so that you can find out what your love language is. And maybe you can even take the quiz with your partner or your friends, and find out what is the most effective way to communicate with them and show them love and see how they perceive love. So, the first one is going to be words of affirmation. So, how do you communicate words of affirmation? You encourage the person verbally, you affirm, appreciate, and empathize, and listen actively. So, a lot of the times we're on the phone, and I'm, guilty of this where I'm more focused on getting my point across or interjecting with a story that I might find similar to help, move the conversation along or to show that I'm actually listening. But in fact, what some people, you know, perceive as love is when you show them words of affirmation. This could be an example of, hey, that's a nice shirt that you have on, or oh, I love the way that you make that uh, special drink that tastes so good, or you're such a great communicator, you're such a great friend, blah, blah, blah. Some people really, really like that. And when you show them these words of affirmation, it touches a special place in their heart and they'll look at you a little differently. So, actions to take. Which ways that you would be able to convey this would be sending a note, a text, a phone call, or even encouraging them in person. Things to avoid with this, with people that um, need words of affirmation, is being overly critical, um, not recognizing or appreciating their effort. So if you may not know that you do it, but sometimes we can be very over analytical in life in general, and we tend to put that off on other people. Um, and if the person that, their love language is words of affirmation, they can take this very personally if you um, criticize them. They may take it very personal. They may feel like it's a personal attack. They may even feel like you don't like them. So once you find out that this is a person's love language, you would definitely want to watch that behavior within yourself and check it so that you don't make them feel, opposite to what you're actually meaning to do. Okay, so the next one is going to be physical touch. So physical touch is pretty much a no-brainer. Um, some people just like to be touched. Like, I'm a toucher. When I talk to people and something is funny, I'll be like, ha ha ha, girl, and I'll touch them, on their arm or their hand, or just, make them feel like, just feel, because a lot of the times we walk around and we're just existing. But I feel like when someone touches you, it kind of brings you back to, like, snaps you out of your head. So uh, one way that you could communicate this, obviously, is through touch and nonverbal uh, body language. And emphasize love. When you touch them, of course, you want to feel love as you're touching them. And because if you are doing it in an aggressive way, of course, it's not going to come across as loving. Um, Actions that you could do would be hugging and kissing and holding hands and showing affection regularly. Make intimacy a thoughtful priority. So if you know that your partner or friend, um, their love language is physical touch, you might want to, if you're going to their house and you're watching a movie, you may want to snuggle up a little bit, sit close to them, maybe hold hands every now and then, or, just give them a kiss on the cheek, a hug when you greet them, things like that. So, things to avoid with people that their love language is physical touch is physical neglect, not touching them at all. This can come across as you just not loving them or not being attracted to them or not, liking them. Long stints without intimacy, withholding, sex or withholding just physical touch in general, not touching them at all, um, and receiving affection coldly. So if they go to hug you and you don't embrace them back, this could be a problem because then they're like, why don't you want to hug me? Why don't you want to kiss me? Things like that. Receiving gifts. This is my favorite. Actually, I don't really believe that this is my love language from when I did take the test. Um, but when I took the test, it actually ranks, where you score in each category. So I believe this was one of the second to highest ones. But receiving gifts could be a way for you to communicate love, but it shows thoughtfulness, especially when you're choosing gifts and you personalize the gift. If you know that your friend loves, you know, unicorns or they love fancy writing or something like that, you might want to get them uh, a little memoir or a little token when you're a souvenir when you go on vacation, something that has a unicorn on it or something that has fancy writing. But if you don't personalize the gift and you're just like, oh, this is on sale, let me just pick this up, and oh, I don't want it anymore, I'm just going to give it to such and such, it kind of takes away from the whole idea of feeling like the person thought of you when they actually got the gift, which is why I don't like the whole idea of re-gifting because it's very impersonal, especially if the person that previously bought the gift bought it with that person that's trying to give the gift in mind. So think about that. Also, make your spouse or friend or partner a priority and speak purposefully. Um, this could definitely say to them that you actually want to give them the gift. Like, oh, look what I got you. I know you're going to love it. That's speaking purposely. So give thoughtful gifts and gestures. Small things matter in a big way. Express gratitude when receiving the gift. So let's say that you are on the receiving end of receiving the gift. Of course, if this is your love language, you're going to be elated. But you also want to keep in mind that you want to show gratitude to the person that gave you the gift because then it makes them feel good that they made a good decision and that, they will have the outcome that they were expecting, which is to make you happy. So, yeah, you want to think about that. And things to avoid would be forgetting special occasions, unenthusiastic gift receiving. So let's say And I want to add to that because I'm reading some notes here. I want to add to unenthusiastic gift giving because I believe that you should never give a gift out of scarcity or when it's like your last dollar. Like some people, they have their different views on that, but I truly believe that when you give with an abundant heart and an abundant feeling overall, you make the person feel like it wasn't a burden. And nobody wants to feel like they're a burden to anyone. So definitely keep that in mind when giving gifts and receiving. You want to be grateful, and you also, there's like a little fly in here. My gosh, I'm sorry. Okay, yeah. So let's move on. Quality time, which I love, love, love. Quality time. Uninterrupted and focused conversations. One on one time is critical. Some people want it to be all about them. And there's nothing wrong with that. I feel like you should definitely make people a priority when you're in their company, but let's face it. After a while, when you get used to people, you kind of take them for granted. And so we should definitely keep this in mind, especially if quality time is that person's love language, because they never want to feel, like you're tired of them. They want to feel like you're present in the moment. And that's how you would enjoy each other, by being in the moment and making each other a priority. So, how you would go about this is you would create, special moments together. If you're, let's say you have a child that their love language is quality time, you want to create moments. It doesn't have to be, you know, trips to Disney World or anything extravagant. It can be something as simple as showing them how to cook a meal or showing them what you're interested in and things that you like to do, and see how they like it, or even show interest in the things that they like my son, he loves video games, and he's always trying to get me involved. And sometimes I have to take the time and get out of the whole I can't stand video game thing and just show interest in whatever it is that he wants to show me, just because it would make him feel good. It would make him feel like, wow, my mom is actually paying attention to all of this stuff. Instead of saying, like, oh, I don't care about that. That's boring. Like, you want to make people feel like the things that they're interested in are cool, especially if they're a loved one. Because we all have things that we like, but it's so much better when we can find someone else that likes them too. So, this one also says weekend getaways are huge. So, I think when you're in a relationship and when you're a parent, it's crucial and imperative to spend time together. Like I said, it doesn't always have to be uh, going on expensive vacations, but even if can plan something to where you and your kids are hanging out, going to the movies, going to the arcade, doing things that are fun. You and your partner maybe make a date night, go out to eat, go somewhere new that you've never been, and just enjoy each other's company. I think that goes a long way because you're creating memories. And those are the things that we hold on to, and we associate feelings with memories. So you want to make it count, right? Okay, so eliminate distraction. Now, these are the things to avoid. You want to eliminate distraction. Your phone, okay? Stay off the phone when you're spending quality time with these people, with these loved ones. They feel invisible, okay? When you're not present in the moment, they feel like their absence won't matter. So That's something very important to think about. And distractions can be other things. Distractions can be um, watching something on TV or doing laundry. Like, oh, I remember, sorry, they're in the middle of a story. Oh my God, I remember I have to go do laundry. And they're just sitting there like, I'm trying to talk to you. I'm trying to spend time with you, you know? So keep that in mind. You don't want to make a person feel like they don't matter, regardless of if it's their love language or not. And the last one, acts of service. Use action phrases like, I'll help you. They want to know that you're with them, partnered with them. So, acts of service could definitely go a long way when you're cohabitating, when you're in a relationship, or when you just have family, you know, mom, kids, whoever is in the house, or friends. You know, if you know that your friend or your spouse or your child or your parent needs help, and you have the ability to help them and you choose not to, and that is their love language, they definitely will perceive that as non-loving or unloving. I think unloving is a better word. um yeah, so let me help you. Let me go get the groceries out of the car. Let me go take your car for a car wash. Let me go to the post office for you. What do you need? Those are acts of service. So you can actually combine this with quality time and do chores together. Cooking breakfast for one another or for the person, cleaning together, or just doing whatever you can physically, whatever you're physically able to do to lessen their workload. That goes a long way, especially when you know that the person is feeling a little overwhelmed. Things to avoid: making the requests of others a higher priority, lacking follow through and big task, big and small. So let's say someone really needs your help and you put someone else before them. Oh, I was gonna help you today, but such and such person that is nowhere near as close to me as you are needs me also. I think I'm gonna go over there. People do that, okay? And it's bad. It's really bad. Like, don't do that, okay? So that's it. I mean, that's pretty. I just wanted to sum up, the five love languages. It is a thing. And if you haven't heard of it, definitely Google it. Definitely take the quiz below. Definitely get the book. Or, watch this video. Share this video. Comment, like, subscribe. Okay? Hope to see you again. Bye.